Okay, so 我们今天要学关于到的其实是关于的this is what we call double angle formula and compound angle formula. Alright, so 简单来讲就是我们现在处于是 there exists an angle. Okay, so for example, this is the angle we call it as C. And instead of 我们教它一个 angle 啦 okay, we will look at it in terms of two angles, such as C is equals to A plus B. So for example, this is A, this is B, like that. Okay, so that's where applications have been used, because we might want to look at different angles. 如果我们 tilted 的话，它会怎样等等的。Okay, so using double angle formula, we can definitely kind of like work things out. But these are all the things that will be in your formula booklet, so you don't have to worry about it. Whatever that's most important thing is that you're able to spot that is a compound angle. Okay? For example, 你看到这种 pattern 的时候，你就要讲 OK， 这个就是这一个的 compound angle。看到这一种 pattern 的时候，这个就是这个种 pattern， 懂不懂？ That's the most important thing. So always in this trigonometry, always be looking for patterns. That's the most important thing. So, for example, 如果我讲 we have to find the exact value of this. Okay? So sine 105. What does that even mean? Okay? In a way, I can also split my sine 105 into 60 plus 45. Okay, this is not accessible in exams, you should be fine. Okay, but just showing you what kind of things, how can we split things up and how we can use it as application. So from here, I know that it's the same pattern as 我们的 A plus B. So that means 我们的 A 的部分 is just sine of 60 times 我们的 cos of 45 plus the cos of 60 sine of 45. Okay? So using that will result into 我们的就是 sine 30 sine 60 就是我们的 square root of 32 times square root of 2 plus 我们的 half times square root of 2. Okay, as again, this is not accessible in the exam, but it's just showing you that I can use this and I can spot the pattern. So again, reversely, 如果我有这个 pattern, I'm still using the same formula. Not the same formula, in fact, because I can see there's a cos, so it's going to be using this one. So is it plus or minus? It's a plus. So that means that it's going to be cos bracket 42 minus 12, which is the same as cos 30, which, not surprised, is going to be square root of 3 over 2. So the most important thing, as mentioned, is always spotting the pattern. Okay, so this is the basis. Right, given that we have sine A equals to 4 over 5, cos B equals to 5 over 13, A is the obtuse and B is the acute, find the value of sine A plus B. Okay, so in order to do that, okay, we have to first understand 我们这一个sine A 的和 cos B 的情况。In case A, I can read according to Sokato. Oh, sorry. For case A, 我们是看 So that is just 我们的 sine of A 等于我们的 opposite over H. So opposite 等于4 H 等于我们的5. Hence, it will look something like, so if I have a triangle here, here's my right angle. If I have my angle A here, then opposite will be 4, hypotenuse will be 5. Okay, so that means here is going to be 3. So from here I know that sine A equals to 4 over 5, cos A equals to 3 over 5. Tangent A equals to 3 over 4 over 3, the negative. Am I doing correct? Hold on a second. 如果我是 oh sorry, it should yeah, it should be like that. Then here's my A, opposite, hypotenuse. Yep. Done. Okay. Now, if I do my B, so that would be 我们的 cos B equals to adjacent over H. So adjacent is 5, hypotenuse is 13, so that makes it as 12 here. Here's B. So cos of B 我们得到的是 5 over 13. Sine of B equals to 12 over 13. Tangent B equals to 12 over 5. Okay. So, oh wait a second, I missed out one information. It says that A is an obtuse. That's why I got so a bit confused with the notes. So that means acute 的话就是我们 B 的 K 情况 okay, A is obtuse, so that means that 我们的 triangle will have it here, but here is my A. Okay, so it's above 90 degree. That's where I got confused. Okay, so here we've got opposite 4 and negative 3 because it's at negative already. Okay, so here would be A. But I think rarely the case that exam would ask this kind of question. This is just to build your understanding. So that means you have a negative here, you have a negative here. Okay, so that was our mistake. Right, so we have to find sine A plus B. So according to the formula, sine A plus B, so that's sine A plus times cos B plus cos A times sine B. So that means sine A plus B equals to sine A cos B plus sine B cos A. Replace that, I will be 4 over 5, 5 over 13 timesing together plus 我们的 3 the negative 5, 12 over 13. If I turn it in my calculator, 它会变成 16 over 65. Right, cos A minus B, 这个 case, it will be cos A cos B plus sin A sin B. So that will be cos of A cos B plus sin A sin B. So that results into a negative 3 over 5 times 我们的 5 over 13 plus 我们的 sin B, which is 12 over 13 and 4 over 5. So the final answer will result into 33 over 65. Okay, now the last one, C, tangent of A minus B. So this is a new one we haven't used. So it will be tangent A minus tangent B over 1 plus tan A plus times B. So tangent A minus tangent B over 1 plus tangent A tangent B. So that results into 我们的 negative 4 over 3 minus 我们的 12 over 5 over 1 plus negative 4 over 3, 12 over 5, which is 56 over 33. You don't have to do everything by hand, you can do it through calculator. Right. Now, this is the area where we are more concerned of in the exam. What we are thinking of is that it's always solving equations at trigonometry linear. Doesn't matter if it's the question like that or application question. So, first of all, 在我们这里的情况，我们会有 sin 60 theta minus x equals to 2 sin x。有一些学生就问我啦 ，OK， 我不能直接 arc sin 咩？ The answer is no. Okay, you cannot exactly do arc sine. Okay, because you've got to first of all think about it. If you do arc sine, what is arc sine according to the angle? Okay, 它们两个又不是一样的，所以你的 angle of what you're doing arc sine of is different. So what you need to do is that you have to change it to 我们的 compound angle. So this compound angle is the same as 我们的 sin A cos B minus cos A sin B. So it will be sin, 所以这里就变成了我们的 sin 60 cos x minus sin x cos 60 equals to 2 sin x. Right, simplify it, or let's change it to number. Square root of 3 over 2 cos x minus 我们的 cos 60, which is half of sin x equals to 2 sin x. I'm going to multiply everything by 4, so that makes it a square root of 3 cos x minus sin x equals to 4 sin x. Then I can plus it on both sides for the sin x. And I see, I can divide 5 and divide cos on both sides. So that becomes tangent. Inverse of the tangent, it will look like arctan of the square root of 3 over 5. So that results into 我们会有 how many solutions? If it's from 0 to 30, 360, we will have 2 solutions. So hence x equals to 19.1, 919.1. It's always plussing 180. Again, this is suggested is that you need to understand one of the previous questions regarding of trigonometry. If not, it's going to be a hard time. So make sure you consolidate those questions before you come and tackle this. Right. Now, solve using the equation of the compound angle formula. So again, it's the same format. Okay, but what I can do is just, let's, divide everything by 2 first. So that becomes sine 30 plus x plus cos 60 plus x equals to square root of 3 over 2. It's not necessary to do this short, but I feel like it's going to be, for me, it might be easier. I'm going to change this according to the compound angle formula. So it should be this one I'm referring to, and it should be this one that I'm referring to. So it will be sine 30 cos x plus sine x cos 30 plus 我们的另外一个是我们的 cos 60 cos x. That's why I like using bracket, 因为不会这样乱. Sine 30 sine x equals to square root of 3 over 2. Simplify things a bit, so that makes it as sine 30, that's a half. Cos 30, that's a square root of 3 over 2. Sine x plus cos 60, that will be a half. Minus sine 60, that will be the square root of 3 over 2 sine x equals to the square root of 3 over 2. So we can see from here, this 2 cancels out, and that leaves us with 1 cos x equals to the square root of 3 over 2. Okay, given that it's this, let's draw the graph. So that means it will look something like that. And if since it's positive, we'll have 2 answers like that. Type in the calculator, 我们通常会拿到的是 x equals to 我们的 30 theta, but the other one will be the same length but different direction. So it will be plus and minus 30. Right. Now, the compound cases is usually because of 我们的那个 different angles. But what if we have the same angle? Okay, so what happens is we have another set of formula, but it's the same thing. It forms the same, it comes from the same formula. Okay, it's just that I put it as x plus x, which is 2x's. Well, in this case, it will be 2a. Okay, so 所以你看到这里，我们就会看到，诶 sin a cos a 和 sin cos a sin a 两个不是一样吗？Might as well just put it as 1, 2. Okay? Now again, same thing close to here, cos a minus sin a. Oh, there's a square root. There's a square. Cos square, sin square. If I were to use any of the trigonometry identity, such as sin square equals to 1 minus cos square, I change the sin square, it will become a 2 cos square minus 1. If I do the cos square identity, it will become cos 2a 1 minus 2 sin square a. So the only and then we've got tangent 2a, that's 2 tangent a, 1 minus tangent square a. So the only problem in this double angle formula probably is this one. 因为你需要去找出来到底要用哪一个 angle 会比较好。Okay, or maybe which trigonometry to use to solve the problem. So you need to do some try and error if needed. So let's try and do this. So given that sine x equals to minus 3 over 5, show it, and that x is 180 and 270, find the exact value. Okay. So, well, from this case, we know that in 180, right? Here's 180, here's 270. So that means it's going to be here. 那因为我们的 sin x equals to 3 over 5 is negative 3 over 5 is the same as OH. So that means 我们的 right angle is here. Here's our negative 3, here's our 5, and here's our negative 4. But again, this is not necessary. Okay, it may not be necessary in the exam. But this will help us to determine sin x equals to negative 3 over 5, cos x equals to negative 4 over 5, tangent x equals to 4 over 3. Or 3 over 4, what am I thinking? Okay, so here's our angle. But anyways, let's try and solve it. So 我们知道的是 sin 2x is the same as 2 sin x cos x using the double angle formula. Okay, so that results into 2 bracket negative 3 over 5 negative 4 over 5, which is the same as 24 over 25. Done. Cos square x, cos 2x. So I'm going to use the most common one, which is just cos square x minus sine square x. Okay, this is good for calculation, but it's not good for, so not too good in solving questions. Alright? So that means 我们的 negative 4 over 5 square minus 3 over 5 the negative square, which is the same as 7 over 25. Question C, we've got tangent x over 2. Now, this is interesting. Given that 我们知道 okay, tangent x, if I take out the formula, it will be tangent x over 3x over 2. Okay, tangent x over 2 equals to 2 tangent x over 2, 1 minus tangent square x over 2. Okay. Oh, sorry, it should be. Oh, sorry. Let me do it again. Let me explain it again. Tangent 2x equals to tangent x over 1 minus tangent square x. What have you realized in tangent formula? 如果它这里是 double, this would be single. So that means tangent of the x is the same as tangent x over 2 over 1 minus tangent square x over 2. Now you seeing the pattern? So that means in order to find tangent x over 2, I just have to replace what the 3 over 4 equals to tangent x over 2 over 1 minus tangent square x over 2. Okay. That means that results into 3 over 4. I just quickly expand it and multiply, equals to tangent x over 2. So 3 over 4 tangent square x over 2 minus plus 我们的 tangent x over 2 minus 3 over 4 equals to 0. Now, put it into a calculator, you probably can solve it. Or if you want, you can also multiply 4 on everything first. So it becomes 3 tangent square x over 2 plus 4 tangent x minus 3 equals to 0. So that means we can factorize it. Tangent x over 2 minus 1 tangent x over 2 plus 3 equals to 0. Tangent x over 2 equals to 1 over 3, or tangent x over 2 equals to negative 3. Okay, this is one of the longest process, but I'm almost done. Okay, so given that we know 180 degree to 270 is when the axis itself, in order to half it, I also have to half everything, so it becomes 90 x over 2 135. Okay, so in order to solve this part, or even to solve x over 2, okay, I need to make sure that it's following 这一个 angle, right? But since 我们的 x over 2 is the second quadrant, okay, so we have to reject 我们的 tangent x over 2, so that results into 我们的 tangent x over 2 equals to negative 3. Okay, so this is a little bit more tricky, but I think usually we would do it in solving equation more. Now, if you want, you can take a water break first, like pause the video, take a water break, and then come back to it. This would be a solving part. We only have 2 more questions, so it's up to you. Okay, feel free to take a break, but I will continue here. So 我们会有 sine 2x equals to sine x. Okay, this is an interesting one. Okay, so we know from here that sine 2x is the same as 我们的 2 of the sine x cos x which is the same as sine x in this question. Okay, so I can rearrange it, so it becomes 2 sine x cos x minus sine x equals to 0. Now, I can see the common factor, so let's factorize it. Sine x bracket 2 cos x minus 1 equals to 0. So that means sine x equals to 0, or 2 cos x minus 1 equals to 0. So from here, cos x equals to 1 over 2. So using this, 我这里可以 solve 到的 given that it's this value, we know if it's going to be x equals to 0, 180, 360 for sine. Okay, 因为它是这一条线碰3次的。And for cos x 1 over 2, it will be here and here. So there will be 2 answers only, which are 60 degree from here to here. So that means from here, 360 to here is also minus 60. So that results into x equals to 300 degree. So here are the 5 answers we'll have. Right. I would suggest if I'm going too quickly, maybe you skip a few steps, or not skip a few steps, but go back to the kind of like rewind it. Okay, because I did realize I'm going quickly. But also ask me question during workshop. But anyways, so solve the equation of cos 2x plus 3 sine x equals to 2. Again, I see double angle formula in solving that I'm trying to change to a single angle formula. But which one should I choose? 我这里有3个 Okay? But what we have realized here, it has a sine x. So might as well just use the one that's with sine, which is 1 minus 2 sine square a. Hence, that results into 我们的 1 minus 2 sine square x plus 3 sine x equals 2. Okay, rearrange a bit. Plus 1 equals 0. So that makes it as sine x minus 1 sine x plus 1, or minus 1, sorry, equals to 0. So 我们的 sine x equals to 1 over 2, or sine x equals to 1. So of course from here and here, let me graph it out. So 1 is here, 1 is halfway. So 我们总共会有 3 answers for this case, and it's in terms of radian. So our x value is going to be, well, from the top part, it's going to be half of pi over 2. For this one, it would be pi over 6, and it would be pi minus pi over 6, which is the same as 我们的 5 pi over 6, and that will be the final answer. Okay, so again, double angle formula, compound angle formula, it's all about using the formula to rearrange your equation. That's the key part. Okay, so in the next lesson we will see more further of the trigger identities, such as proving. Right.